First of all, I want to apologise to Sean Middleton because I did kind of take the mick out of him in the SCFC Fan TV Sunday Brunch WhatsApp group chat, taking the mick saying I'd seen Marcus Maddison at the Academy of Light, and he actually told all his mates at work. So I didn't actually expect him to go and take it that far, but so apologies in advance. And thanks again to Taffy Mackham, because it was actually his idea. Shout out to you, mate. Legend of a guy. Not only do you comment on my videos a lot, but you also comment on SCFC Fan TV's videos as well. You comment on the Sunday Brunch, I believe. I've seen you do it quite a few times. So shout out to you. And I love that even when I put up a poll that got 44 votes, I know such a massive amount. But response again seemed to be that more people were interested in me rating Sunderland's transfer window than not. So I deliberately, at the time of recording, it is 11:05 on the 31st of January. So I deliberately waited until after the window had officially closed. So without further ado, I will try and tend to the subjects, as Taffy Mackham called it. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Sunderland signed 5 players in the window. We signed Kyle Lafferty, Bailey Wright, Josh Scowen, I'm going to probably butcher that name, so someone please correct me in the comments. And then we've got Antoine Semenyo, and I've forgotten who the other guy is now. Declan John, that's it. We've signed those 5 players, 3 of which are on loan. 2 of which are from Bristol City, obviously one from both Semenyo and Wright. Declan John on loan from Swansea. Josh Scowen from QPR, which was a permanent deal. And then you've obviously got Kyle Lafferty, who was a free agent. So we'll go in kind of chronological order here. So the first guy who went through the door was Kyle Lafferty, and I believe that was a couple of weeks ago. I think that was right before we played Wickham. But again, I could be wrong. Please feel free to correct me if I am wrong. As far as Kyle Lafferty is concerned, all I've seen of him really live is 20 minutes coming off the bench against Doncaster. And for me, while I thought technically, what's the word? He had a half-decent... Sorry, I'm trying to suppress the yawn there. He had a half-decent touch about him, but I did feel that he didn't press Doncaster enough. Now, I'm just hoping and praying that is down to him not getting much football in recent weeks or recent months, and hopefully it'll just take him a bit of time to get up to speed. Pure and simple. But, so we'll wait. Jury's kind of out for me on that one. Bailey Wright was the next guy we signed. Bailey Wright, now, obviously, again, I haven't actually physically seen him live yet. I haven't watched a game of him yet. From what I did see, he did miss a very, very good chance to against Tranmere to actually score. He missed a good chance in the first few minutes of the game, actually. But from what I'm going off what people are saying, certainly at Tranmere, because that was the first game he started, that he's looked very, very assured. He's looked confident on the ball. He looks very comfortable at the back, and so on. So actually, if that's the case, that is promising. So next one, Josh Scowen. Now, obviously, he scored a screamer, I believe, for QPR against Swansea, and I believe that was in the FA Cup third round. But for me, obviously, I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard that Scowen is a defensive midfielder. I've heard he's a box-to-box midfielder. I've heard he said himself in his club interview that he doesn't finish moves, but he starts them. Now, that's actually quite good, because I've touted for weeks and weeks that Sunderland badly need a creative player. We need someone in that midfield who's going to help unlock the door. But I'll touch on that a little bit later on. What was I going to say next? Scowen could easily be that. He could easily be that player, but time will tell on that one. And then obviously 2 deadline day signs happened today. Declan John, first of all, from Swansea, on loan till the end of the season. And then that's the case. He was basically brought in to compete with Hume. And I've got no problem with that. I don't expect him at least to start straight away unless Hume has a massive drop in form or ends up being injured. And if that's the case, then yeah, bring him. I'm glad that we've got someone there. Baffled me that it took us till deadline day to get in mind, or get a left back in nevertheless. And then the final one, which is the one that I think probably most people will be more excited about, apparently, is Antoine Semenyo. Now again, I've probably got that name wrong, so correct me in the comments below. For me, it looks like the description of him is that he's got pace and power. I'm just looking at Sky Sports every couple of minutes. The description of him is that he's got pace and power, and that obviously that's a big thing in League One. If you can have someone with pace and power who's got adequate quality, that will straight away make a huge difference. Or I'd like to think it will make a difference. So where I would go with, I'm glad we've got him in, but there you have it. Now on to the final conclusion of the video. Apologies, this has been a ramble. I don't even know if it's been that good, to be honest. Hopefully you enjoy it. My final thoughts. I I think we have filled certain gaps in the squad that I think we have needed. We've needed another centre-back. We've got Bailey Wright, someone who was a club captain in the Championship. I know Dino said on an SCFC panel quite a while back. Oh, God. Can I stop yawning? He said on the SFC Fan TV panel show quite a while back that just because you're club captain at a club doesn't mean you should be captain or you're captain material. But I think that, Bristol City fans, some of them was, I think more than not, were sorry to see him go. And if that's the case, then I think that's a very good signing. I think that Lafferty obviously is a striker we needed, but I would have preferred someone who's going to be an out-and-out goal scorer. Scowen, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. And obviously, John, good cover. And Semenyo, fair enough, we needed another striker. But I just get the impression that we were creative player short or a goal scorer short from having an excellent window. And I'm kind of fed up with being disappointed at the end of every window. Now, don't get me wrong. At the minute, if I had to rate our window out of 10, I would say about 7 out of 10. I think it's in a decent window. I think we've got some astute acquisitions. I think we've got some decent bargains. But again, and this kind of what brings me on to Stuart Donald. I still like Stuart Donald a lot, and I still maintain what my stance was when I said on that Donald out video when I questioned the movement done by all the fanzines, which again they all had their right to their own opinion on it. But for me, I think Donald has still done more good for this club in general than bad. Having said that, though, if he keeps on bragging, oh, we can do this, well, I kind of need to see that backed up in the window, Stuart. So, not me trying to turn on him or anything, it's just an observation to point out. So saying that though, look, obviously we've got a massive few games coming up, and I'll quickly touch on the outgoings. You've obviously got the two big ones really, because there was nothing else really happened outgoings-wise on deadline day anyway. Mark McNulty left to go to Reading. Look, go back to Reading to then go to Hibernian on loan for the rest of the season to reunite with former manager Jack Ross. I like McNulty actually. I thought that technically he was probably the best of the strikers that we had, and I think McNulty would get more goals than Wyke. But Parkinson seems to like Wyke over McNulty. So look, but at the end of the day, if he's not playing, there's no point in him being there, so fair enough. McGeady, fair enough. I don't think that's a bad signing for Charlton. I think for 6 months, it's a low-risk signing. He's got a little bit of quality in there. We just accept, and people saying losing McGeady was a blow. No, not really. We pretty much accepted since before the Blackpool game that he wasn't going to be a part of the squad anymore, so we were kind of prepared for that already. Like I said, final window, 7 out of 10. And then obviously we've got a good number of games coming up that could define our season. I'll love you and leave you there, guys. I'll see you for after the Pompey game tomorrow, and fingers crossed it's a positive one. But we will wait and see. Love you and leave you. Thanks again so much for the support, and how are the lads?